Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of PodClass President. I am Ben Brainerd, your host. If this is your first time joining us, which it is because this is episode 1, thank you so much for being here. This is a storytelling podcast. Every week I have a couple guests on who share their funniest, weirdest, wildest, wackiest, whatever stories from their time in school or training, class, or any type of formal learning environment whatsoever. I don't know what the stories are going to be beforehand. I ask for as little information as possible, which tends to lead to genuine, honest reaction from me as well. I enjoy listening to these stories being told just as much as I hope you will. So I do want to say, though, that these are pre-recorded episodes. I have a studio that I like to record in, and I do that as much as I can. And then right now, I'm pre-recording this well after episode 1, the stories parts have been recorded. Just so if you ever have questions about how this works, that's how it goes. I've got a bunch of episodes already banked and ready to go. And the intros and outros I record much closer to the date just so I can have more accurate announcements for you guys. This episode 1 is a special one because a lot of times I like to say I am like a halfway house for comedians from Florida trying to leave Florida. When I first moved out here, my first roommate was a guy named Reyes. He was a comedian from Orlando, and my second roommate a year later was a comedian from Daytona Beach named Bennett. They're both very funny people. They're both comedians from Florida that I knew when I started comedy there. And those are my first 2 guests on this episode. It's going to be, well, as of today, it is the most Florida episode I have recorded. It's going to get weird and fun, and I hope you like it. Before we hop into the studio to listen to these stories, I am on tour right now, so you can come see me live. I'll be on November 8th, I'll be in Tallahassee, Florida at Fire Betty's. November 9th, I'll be in Gainesville at High Dive. November 10th, I'll be in St. Augustine. That is sold out, though. November 16th, I'll be in Naples at Off the Hook. And November 18th, I will be in Fort Lauderdale at the Abdo New River Room. All those tickets are on sale now, so check out my website, benbrainerd.com, for those tickets. With that being said, let's hop into the studio and meet our 2 guests for the day. Today with me in the studio, I have 2 guys who I know very well. I thought maybe I should start the podcast off, episode 1, with 2 good friends of mine. They're comedians also from Florida that honestly I feel like I more or less kidnapped them. Sometimes I feel like I'm a halfway house for comedians from Florida. One of them was my roommate for the first year I was out here, and the second one is currently my roommate at the time of recording this. So thank you for joining Zach Bennett and Reyes.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, thank you for letting us live in your house.
Yeah, that was sweet of you.
Stop saying that like I'm forcing you to say that.
Blink twice. Okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for
thanks for
doing
having
this.
us on,
Yeah, happy to. This is your rent payment.
Yeah.
This being on the podcast, so that's good.
We're the only people being paid to be on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah. From me, yeah.
Yeah.
So I always start out with a segment. By always, I mean I'm going to always start. This is episode 1, baby. For sure, in the order that we recorded.
Yeah. There's been no mishaps whatsoever.
None.
Is seamless on this podcast.
Yeah.
I start out with a segment I call, do you know who my mascot is? I'm going to ask you guys your high school mascot, and then whether or not you think yours could beat my high school mascot in a fight. Okay. So, Zach, we'll start with you. What was your high school mascot?
Sharks. Atlantic Sharks, baby.
Not a great start for me. Okay, Ray.
The Patriots. Yeah, it's a mascot.
Yeah, I mean, like the New England?
Colonial gear. Yeah.
Musket?
Yeah, I think he had musket. He probably had a musket.
What a terrible mascot. It's just a guy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just a guy.
You commie.
And he's a guy from like 200 years ago.
Call him a commie?
I called him a commie.
He's a guy from 300 years ago with a rifle that shoots one ball at a time.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, but it made this country. So,
Did it?
pretty powerful. Pretty powerful.
Well,
Just think about it.
well, let's be honest. Mistakes were made.
Lots.
Everybody makes mistakes. So my mascot was a sand crab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also known as sand fleas. They don't pinch
Sand
or
fleas are different from sand crabs.
no,
Yeah, they are.
no,
How
they're
big
not.
is the
Sand
sand
fleas are the
crab?
little ones.
Yep,
That the same thing?
yep.
Why are they so big on the picture?
Because we zoomed in.
We're
I like
big
how
at the same
your
time.
your mascot's a nuisance.
It's not even no claws, no bite.
Wait,
It's a filter feeder.
so we're
Yeah.
from the same hometown.
Yeah,
So I just went to a different school.
yeah.
But what's the other Daytona Beach High School?
Mainland. The
what-
Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. So they're who would win in a fight between the
Between
Buccaneers
Buccaneers
and
and
the
the
Patriots?
What?
Uh,
The Colonials couldn't swim.
no.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers are like pirates, right?
Yeah, they were gonna die of gangrene anyway.
Yeah, I'm taking
Fearless.
Pirates
They're
of the
wilder,
Caribbean
though.
Yeah.
rules. Pirates always win, baby.
It's the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's like you're from around maybe the general area.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure there were pirates probably hiding out in Puerto Rico. Like,
yeah.
for
Okay.
sure.
There's
The
historical
important
fact, actually.
Yeah.
the important question here is:
Yes.
do you think a shark could beat a sand crab in a fight?
Okay. 99.99 whatever percent of the time. The caveat would be if you had a really smart sand crab and he was able to lure the shark onto the beach to the point where at low tide,
Sure.
and then the tide's gone, and then the sand crab would win by just sitting there and looking at him and be like, "What now?" And the shark's like, because he can't breathe.
It
That's-
might
Yeah.
be able to like roll over and crush him.
yeah,
If it gets beached.
but as long as
Yeah.
he keeps his distance and tricks him out of the water at low tide.
I want to do this, but he doesn't even have claws. He can't even
Right.
like mockingly snap.
Terrible mascot.
Yeah, I'm 0-2 to start, so great.
It's one
Love
of the few
that.
colleges with one of the few high schools with a surf team.
Seabreeze?
Yeah.
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 Well, we were across the street from the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Got to hit those 3-foot waves.
If the sand crab was good with propaganda, absolutely we could take down the Patriot. Think about it.
How proud of you? How proud of yourself are you right now?
I'm pretty proud of that one.
Okay. Well, we're
Social
gonna-
commentary.
We're going to jump into story time now.
Yeah.
And Zach, we'll start with you. The only thing you told me about this story before now is statute of limitations, which I feel like means I need to make a caveat really quick because in comparison to the rest of the episodes that I haven't recorded yet, this one might be a little bit Florida.
Oh yeah.
I've talked to a bunch of people so far, and you guys are the only ones that went, it might be dark, like
Yeah.
off the
yeah.
rip, and then I believed.
Yeah.
I had to
So-
actively think about things that did not involve trauma.
Well, both of our initial stories were going to be involving the law.
Oh, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
The statute of limitation story doesn't involve the law,
Okay. So,
or is it not yet
So the
and can't anymore because of?
so the first one I was going to tell you, it was criminal law. But this one is more like, maybe like copyright issues from so more like that kind of law.
Okay, well, we'll jump into this. When was this? How old were you? When did this start? It's past the statute of limitations.
Yes.
So-
and I was a minor, I think.
You think?
I might have been an adult. Okay. I was 17 or 18, my senior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so I decided to go with the story. I have several stories that involve statute of limitations, but
Same.
But I went with the one that was a little less dark because I felt like Ray might go a little too hard.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a fair assumption for
Yeah,
Ray.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, you're 17 or 18, senior year of high school,
Mhm, yeah.
and you're at Atlantic High School in Deltona? DeLand.
Daytona.
This is in Daytona?
Yeah.
Atlantic is in Daytona?
Wow. Go ahead and cut that. No. No. What school is it? There's another school. Is it Deltona? I think Deltona's. They built the two schools the same year with the same look. Like if you go to Deltona, the school looks exactly like Atlantic. Like
Well, I feel like most Florida schools are just they all look the same because they're all prisons.
Right.
Yeah.
and these look like cell blocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But they painted teal on the sides to be like, okay, you guys don't want to kill each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember people coming in town for like when I did cross country would sometimes we would host like the nationals.
Mhm.
And which was real wildly unfair because if you take someone from the mountains and you put them down in Florida, they can run forever.
Yeah.
And like several kids would have to come to Seabreeze and like ask me like, why does this look like a prison? And I'd be like, oh,
'Cause
well,
it is.
we all want to leave.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is that they don't have to stop and drink water, and you would just drink the air. So,
Mhm.
Mhm.
You just filter feed.
I ate your air with a bottle of Chianti. It's a
reference to something I
Silence of the Lambs. It's okay. Anyway,
Okay. Yep.
So, I forget what the name of the school is, but there's another school that's identical.
Yeah.
Like if you saw it in pictures, you would never know. You'd have to stand outside the school to know you're in a different place. That's how similar they are. They're the exact same layout, exact same structures.
Feels like
So-
maybe if we follow the money on that one, we'll uncover something. But
Yeah.
that's for a story for it. That's a True Crime podcast I got coming out in November of '88. Pick the first two numbers. I don't know.
So anyway, yeah. So Atlantic High School in Port Orange, technically, because
That's what it is.
the street that divides South Daytona from Port Orange, it's on this side of it.
See,
So-
Seabreeze is similar.
Yeah.
Seabreeze has the Daytona Ormond line down the middle of the school. So the north half of the school is in the White City. You could legally drive a golf cart on that
I
side
call
in the
them
street.
the bad whites.
The buffer zone whites.
yeah.
That's
Daytona,
probably
that's such a clear person. Like I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. Know exactly what you're
Oh, the buffer zone is a reference to a joke that Zach tells. It's not at all indicative of anything else important, really.
It's just class struggle.
It's,
Anyway,
yeah, it's all the same.
yeah. So anyway, yeah. So Atlantic High School, 2003. Some friends and I were
2003. Sorry, I just need,
No, go ahead.
I know, it's fine.
Tell the audience how
Zach,
old you were.
Zach is 38 years old.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, how do your knees feel?
They're all broken from inline skateboard and BMX because I grew up in the 90s.
God, same though. Oh, and I grew up a little bit after you by a decade. I really just want to drive
One day
that
I was at a
point
skate
home.
park and a sunglass company came and was like, "Hey kids, put these sunglasses on and we'll take pictures of you guys skating." And that's how I got sponsored by a sunglasses company when I was 13.
What were they called?
I don't remember. I wish I could remember.
You're a great sponsor.
They're almost certainly a bunch of grifters who are probably selling crypto now or something.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Anyway,
Just laughing. Remember when we used to sell sunglasses 20 years ago?
remember when we used to buy sunglasses
Yeah.
from the flea market and then we would sell them for $50?
Remember when we used those teenagers as free labor?
Yeah, it was like the young boy equivalent of like, hey, you're a model. I can take pictures of you. And they just like showed up. They're like, you're gonna be in a calendar. And we're like, where do we get them? Like, we'll get a hold of you. And we never got our number. Okay, this is a different story. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that guy, not the equivalent, by the way. Not at
No,
all
not
the
even
equivalent.
close,
Yeah. Do you think those guys are just in a room somewhere looking at pictures of fully
No.
dressed teenagers in sunglasses? Is that?
No, similarly exploitative.
Oh
in
yeah.
its, recruiting
Sure. No, I get it. Yeah. No, you're right, Zach. The white man's always right.
Okay, this is getting.
I was holding the Jeffrey
Did he
Dahmer joke
become-
back the entire
You're
time.
holding the Dahmer joke back.
Oh, I'm so yeah. We can move on.
Did you mean to say? Did you mean to? Hold on, we gotta
Taking
clarify
pictures
these serial
It's
killers.
like that's all. That's this whole thing was I want to take pictures,
Oh, but I was
and then
thinking.
someone
He just wants to
approached
watch,
you,
Zach.
I was
watch
thinking-
to take pictures.
I was thinking Gacy.
and you were
though.
like, yeah.
I was thinking Gacy though because of the young boys thing. But you didn't expect serial killers to be a part of this.
It's a podcast. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right,
It's also
anyway.
us. Like,
Great point. Yeah.
I don't think me and Zach can get a day without talking about a serial killer.
Well, as someone who's been around both of you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, you were a 17, 18-year-old kid, senior high school,
Yes.
Atlantic.
by the time I got in my junior year, I realized I had been a skater punk asshole for many years.
He was a
in high
skater
school.
boy.
Sorry.
Visceral
Some
reaction.
always made me do that. That and the movie Brink always made me go.
Because you didn't get cast.
would have loved to have been in Brink.
I know you would have loved to be in Brink.
Anyway, skate better. Okay, so I was a bad kid for a little while, and then in my junior year, I realized that I was gonna have to graduate and like be a person after school
Sure.
was done.
It hits you.
Yeah, and
Was it not going well up to that point?
it was real bad.
Cool.
Yeah,
You were a cool kid.
So I was taking an acting class in 9th grade, and I refused to do some of the stuff that I just thought was stupid because I was that much of an asshole. I was just
God, you were such the cool kid, dude.
no.
You took an acting class in 9th grade, and you're like, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. Did you sign up for the acting class?
Yes.
You signed up for the acting. You chose to sign up for and then went,
Listen,
that's a little bit queero or whatever. I don't know what you guys were
Zach's
saying
first
back
question
then
was like,
in the
so
72s.
when's the
Oh, it's so much
action
worse.
scene?
when do we get to blow things up though?
I just want to kickflip. That's all. I want to kickflip in these cool sunglasses that I bought.
Listen, I was given those sunglasses by a strange man with a camera. All right.
Turn on the camera. Watch me do karate.
Crouching tigers playing in the background.
Oh God. So in 9th grade, I had taken this acting class, and I was a real jerk about it.
Yeah.
Because there was a part where it's 3 people, and they sing like I mean
They sing?
There's in the background of this play. It's supposed to be like a short, quick Greek chorus type thing, where 3 people just sing like a background thing about what's happening in the story.
Yeah, it's a very important thing.
It's like 4 bars.
It's a skit.
It's part of a one-act play that was your graduation, by the way. Your final exam is to do the play. All I had to do
Was sing 3 lines of a Greek play.
That's it. And
In Greek?
No, a Greek chorus within the play. A Greek chorus is
So you had to wear the dress.
no. See,
Sorry I didn't take acting class in 9th grade, Zach.
anyway,
My school had a surf team.
I think ours did too.
I don't care about yours. Yours is a crosstown second rival.
I like to imagine this is like a High School Musical situation where Zach was the cool kid who had to take the acting class, but then like you're defending the acting kids from the bullies. You're like, hey, these kids are cool.
Where I was Zac Efron.
No. You'd be like Channing Tatum in this, but I mean, you wouldn't be. It would be this is a totally different scenario because you would be played by Seth Rogen. We all know that.
Yeah,
Zac Efron played a serial killer.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he played 10
We're
buckets.
back, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I did the play, and I refused to do the one part, and I lip synced through it, and it was obvious because there's only 2 other people singing. So when one person
When that 3-part harmony comes,
there's only
a
2
2-part
parts, yeah.
almost harmony.
Yeah, and so I failed my final exam of acting in 9th grade,
I'm really proud of you.
and yeah, thank you.
So did you fail acting totally?
In 9th grade, I failed acting 1. So Atlantic High School has a performing arts like fast track program type thing to where they help you if you want to get into performing arts after high school. They give you the tools necessary and or can help you with like scholarships. And
Did you ever think about how maybe those guys with the sunglasses were hired by the acting department of Atlantic to show you what it was like to be like in the public eye?
Okay, well, first of all, yes.
Doing kickflips like somebody's watching. They're gonna scout me. Oh, sunglass company?
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys like have a skate team?
It was like someone tapped into the mind of a 13-year-old boy. They were like everybody, like when you're 13 and you're like doing a trick, you're like, maybe everybody's watching me though.
Yeah.
And of course, no one is or cares.
Anybody see that?
What? Yeah. It's pretty wild to see.
I tried this one on my tech deck earlier.
So in 9th grade, I had been a real shithead. So in 11th grade, I had a bunch of friends who were in acting, and they were all like a part of StageWorks, which is like the advanced acting program that can like help you get into college afterward and everything.
And you were just on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I was like,
you watched them. I can sing the 3-part Greek chorus now. Please, somebody talk to me. Somebody, anybody.
The amount of embarrassing things I did to, I mean, you had to like learn a song and sing it. which is normal.
No.
If you want, but I didn't want to do musicals and stuff.
This
I wanted
was
to act.
This was the 90s though.
2003.
This was the
2002 for my junior year. So anyway,
In your defense, musicals suck.
Yeah.
most musicals, it's like comedy.
And this is only like a year after 9/11,
yeah.
so nobody was singing.
They were, but only rent. They're like 9/11 AIDS feels the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to sing unless it was about AIDS. That was
Anyway.
stipulation after 9/11.
Oh, so many people are going to turn this episode off.
Yeah, Ray's gonna have to edit this down real tight.
Yeah, we got a clown episode coming up. Stick around. It's
Yeah.
getting sillier.
Yeah, go ahead and make that number one. Actually, you're gonna want to.
Nah.
No.
This is it.
Yeah,
I gotta let them know.
set a tone.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got into the advanced acting program after auditioning.
They let you in, or you just got it?
You have to audition for it to get into it, and then like people have to sign off on it. Like it's a whole process. Like it's,
Wow.
because it's a 3-part program. Like to be
Yeah.
part of it's not just like acting. You're part of the music.
It's not
dance,
just like
and
acting.
theater department. Like,
Yeah.
it's the entire like performing arts department that has to go like, yeah, this person's able
Sure.
to do this. Anyway, so I got into it, and then in my senior year, I was actually like fully in the program. So
Yeah.
So
They-
you
they just-
auditioned.
He auditioned.
So and that I can't get past because it's like it's a sack walking in just like, yeah, you know, I don't care.
well, that's the thing.
Holding the skateboard under his arm, like I don't know. My friends were in the class.
I love this
so-
image of me you have when I'm walking around with a skateboard all the time.
Every fake memory I have of
Yeah.
you, you're holding a skateboard.
I did have a pair
Status.
of kickwear pants that I wore that had like a weed pocket on the inside. Yeah.
It's just Zach with like highlights and Jinko jeans. It's just like,
He's got a chain wallet.
The
like,
early
so
2000s
you're
were
auditioning
still...
for this part. He's like, I don't know.
Am I?
Well, that's the
Am I?
thing. I had to stop being like that. I just because like it's like stand up with bomb. Like you have to let
yeah.
yourself bomb. Like
Yeah.
it's the same with like acting. Like
As
you have
soon
to
as he
do
walked
this.
back out of the audition, he was right back to Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
But when he was in there, he was like, "Please, machine, accept me. I want to be part of the machine."
Yeah, the acting machine.
Acting
Anyway, so me and my friends over the summer, one of them was like, "Hey, I really like this play called the Abridged Works of William Shakespeare."
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry, William Shakespeare's Complete Works Abridged, and it's these
Sure.
guys who they've done it. They did it with American history, and I've done multiple versions of their abridged whatever plays. So they take a thing and they condense it all down into an hour and a half, and they make it super funny.
Yeah.
And you picked that one because Shakespeare's Warped Tour was already taken.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love that bombed just now. That
Yep.
that will
I like
carry me. For, yeah,
He said, "I liked it."
he's gonna
I
go
think
home.
that was for you.
He's gonna go home, babe. I made a joke
Shakespeare's
and I
Warped
didn't
Tour
like.
is pretty cool.
I swear to God, Ray, if this episode comes out and there's a laugh track,
He adds it in right there. Where do these people come from? Okay. So anyway, so he was like, "I really like this. I would like us to put it on, but you have to pay for plays to put on. You have to,
yeah,
pay for the rights to perform them."
for Shakespeare, I don't think so.
No, but for specifically the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged, it's a theater company
Okay,
of 3
got it.
guys.
Yeah.
I think it varies, but like 3 to 5, but like it's like a famous thing in theater to do these guys play because it's like super funny, and they do all of William Shakespeare's 37 plays and
An hour and a half.
condense it down to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's a
So
great idea.
yeah, it's super
Yeah.
funny. I also did the complete works of America abridged, where they take all of American history and condense it into, which I did that in 2005. So I mean, that's imagine doing that now.
Wow. I mean, history had barely happened up to that point.
I mean, a lot's happened over the past 15 years.
Sounds like
18,
the
whatever.
current Florida education system.
Yeah, they're like 2005 here.
We'll just take out the gays real quick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's the 50s. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he was like, "I really want us to do this,
but it
but-
costs money.
yeah." he
And
was
that
like,
sunglass sponsorship's really not pulling through.
so long gone. And so he goes, "Why don't we write our own version of it?" I mean, completely lifted the idea. And
Right.
Look, I know this is dirtbaggy, okay? But
You live in a dirtbag city.
yeah. And also, it's not like we made a Hollywood film and then like made a bunch of money off these people. But we
Right.
did spend the summer crafting our own version of it. We wrote we took all of Shakespeare's, which is public. It's
Shakespeare
it's
is
fair
public.
use.
It's public. It's public.
Yeah.
There's a
Public domain.
public domain is the word, and I knew that. I wrote it down and I showed Zach.
Mm-hmm. It also so is Night of the Living Dead because of a copyright mistake at the end of the credits.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's why I used to show
Ooh.
it back in the day at the Nog
Nice.
every Halloween. Anyway, also
Shout out the Nog.
no copyright issues there either. Leave me alone. I feel like this has been following me for a while.
Well, you keep
So-
doing it.
Nog?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we wrote an entirely new version of it,
Mhm.
and then we went and pitched it to the school as, hey, we would like to perform this, and they agreed to it. But my buddy who organized all of this, who was like kind of the one who came up
Right.
with the idea and really like pushed all this forward, I don't know how he did this, but he went to the dean and was like, hey, we would like to do this play, but we
The
would
dean
yeah,
of your
Atlantic-
high school,
Yeah, Atlantic had a dean.
not a president or a principal.
No.
Principal is the right word.
Yeah, there's a
You had a
I think
dean.
there's both, a dean and a principal.
Yeah, we had deans and we had principals.
Yeah,
I just had a principal.
I'll be honest, I don't know what the difference is.
I don't know. Well,
Dean's a college one.
deans were for us. Deans were lower level guys. They were like there was like the principal,
Oh.
and then there was the deans, and the deans like kind of like it was
Right.
Like, it was like Game of Thrones.
Right, I've been meaning to tell you this. That was just a guy named Dean.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
I don't like how quickly just okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna defend anything from my childhood.
So, like,
I just
he goes,
assumed
"Actually,
those
that checks
perceptions
out."
were
I could be wildly wrong here, but with the way I understand it, so in like college, you have like the dean, and then the dean overlooks the because they have different like categories of schools inside the college.
Right.
right.
So I mean, the dean maybe because you guys had the acting like
But
whatever.
it was the dean of the high school.
Yeah. So for us, it was like principal, and then the dean overlooked each.
It was just his assistant named Dean.
This is so.
Yeah,
There's a
I mean
couple
that's
different deans,
okay.
yeah.
Well, listen,
Anyway, hey, put in the comments what's the
don't do
difference-
that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna read them.
All right. Anyway, so my friend went to the dean and was like, "Hey, we would really like to do this play," and he's like, "Absolutely, we could do the, as long as the theater department signs off on it and is willing to, allow you the stage lights and
Sure.
everything." And so the dean said, "You get an after school one," and then he goes, "What if we did it during school?" And he goes, we might be able to work that out. And then somehow he convinced them. Atlantic was on a block schedule then, which was hour 15-minute classes,
Yeah.
15-minute breaks. So there's only 4 classes a day. at
Okay,
Atlantic. They changed that now, I think. They're on the regular 7
sure.
schedule now.
They just wanted to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody did like a study that was like, yeah, this gets kids ready for college because that's how a college class would normally work.
Yeah.
Like, and then they were like, well, forget the schedule. It's taking too long for these kids to graduate or whatever. But who knows?
So-
I don't know the actual reason.
Your buddy pitched the idea to the dean. Dean was like, "Cool," and then your buddy was like, "Secondary idea."
He's-
Not that earlier during the day.
No, all of it. He said all 4 blocks and after school.
What?
And somehow he convinced like some teachers to back him on it. And they came to the dean and he was like, okay, if you guys are all okay with this. And then
All 4 blocks.
he campaigned to basically say, that you could do this. And he was like, he didn't work in any stipulation about how they would make sure if you already saw the play or not. So no one noticed the in between the cracks. It became a thing where if you could buy a ticket,
you were just there all
spend
day.
the entire day out of class watching this play over and over again, which is just us being psychos screaming Shakespeare lines way too fast in bad lighting because we didn't know what we were doing.
Well, you had to do it in an hour and 15 minutes with a
Yeah.
15-minute break. And that, and you wrote it for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So you got to cut those 15 minutes somehow.
We even brought in 2 other friends of ours besides the 3 of us that were already doing it. We brought in 2 other friends to do the Romeo and Juliet section because like it's its own chunk, and we were just like too exhausted from doing all the rest of it. So we brought them in, and then we would be our own stagehands whenever one of us wasn't on stage. The other one was like running around putting props. It was insane. It was 5
Yeah.
people doing the entire everything besides our friend who was in the booth doing lights and sound at the same time.
And besides, of course, the 3 guys who wrote it originally.
Yeah, well, they were unaware, thank God. They would have sued the pants off Atlantic High School because they condoned this. We were children who they allowed to do this.
Probably.
So the statute of limitations was for them, not
Did you
us.
Google the statute of limitations on copyright infringement?
100% I didn't do that. I'm sure it's fine. Maybe we could bleep out some stuff.
Nah, we're keeping it all, baby.
Honestly, it was 20 years ago. If they want to come after, hey, you can have the $700 we made.
Who's paying them?
Oh, that's the other great part. Okay, so you could get out of all your classes,
Right?
And we did an after school one, which we had 3 hours off between, so the adrenaline wore off, and we were dead. I mean, we barely pulled off of that performance. So, needless to say, every single block it's sold out because no one.
Everybody,
wanted to go to school.
all the kids wanted to rather watch 5 knuckleheads do the dumbest thing ever.
I still meet
be in
people.
class.
Yeah.
I still meet people from back then. They go like, "Oh man, I skipped school the whole day and watched you do that play."
I like how they still
Yeah.
add in the I skipped school the whole day because they were like, this is the important part here. Is that I got to skip school all day. Also, you were doing a play. I don't know what that was about. I wasn't paying attention, but I wasn't in class.
And you know what? You know what, though? We did teach. We taught them Shakespeare. Did we do it in a weird, wrong way that is potentially legally an issue? Absolutely. But it taught them stuff. If you paid attention, especially if you watched it a few times, which a lot of people did.
Which almost the whole school did.
Yeah. So, and then we sold out the after school one too, because that's when the parents could come in and everything. And it went great.
And
then
you did this all with a skateboard in your hand?
The whole time. A skateboard in his hand, sunglasses on his face. He couldn't see anything, dude. Stage lights were not blinding him today, but he could kickflip.
I'm going to strap him to a longboard and push him. And I'm going to ride you around to Santa Monica.
I would not be surprised if you were just like under the chair. There's a longboard here. I'd be surprised. I'd more so be like, how'd you afford that?
Yeah, we've moved on to guitar phase by now.
Oh, right.
We got out of skateboard into, I had already got my first car and my first girlfriend, so I was like, I'm very cool now.
Wow, look at
Skateboard's
you.
in the trunk now.
It's still in there. I have a skateboard in my trunk right now. I'm 38.
I used to keep a skateboard in my trunk for a long time.
It helps you move when you got to move heavy stuff by yourself.
Yeah. Also, if your car breaks
God, that's how you know you're getting old.
Yeah.
Is when the skateboard in your trunk becomes just a dolly.
Yeah, there's more like heavy TVs on my skateboard in the past than skateboarding back when they were still
with stickers on it.
So, okay, you did
So
1, 2, 3, 4,
so we-
4 shows of this hour and a
We
half
did
play,
in school, and then we did a fifth one.
and then a
after
fifth
school.
one after school.
And then they were like, obviously, like this is an educational thing. We're not going to pay you guys for the show you did. The school makes the money. Like you're not.
Right.
It's not so that you
But
can.
they didn't give you the money.
Well, here's what happened. My
Oh my God, this is the actual statute of limitations part. He stole from the school.
no, this is just the super smart part that I always think about how this is something you would have done. My friend had his own business, his own. I don't think he'll mind if I just say what it was. He did magic. And he would spend money on these expensive magic tricks.
Yeah.
And then he purposely worked them into the show so they would be write-offs and then build the school. So the only money anyone made besides the school, because they made plenty of money. They made a lot of money.
Yeah.
The school sold out 5 shows in a 500-seat auditorium. So
Wild.
yeah. But he made, I don't know, it was probably close to like 1,000 or something. But he made that by invoices for the jokes that
for the magic
tricks that he had bought.
That's great.
In that time frame.
Well done.
Worked them into the show and then did them as write-offs. So if you're out there, it's completely legal. Work in regular stuff into whatever your job is.
Not a joke, really.
Write that off.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Yeah.
Business.
Business.
Mm-hmm. So a 30-second sketch of me playing a video game just so I could write that video game off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe don't say that a bunch.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, dude.
oh man, okay. So it more or less went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
And you survived.
Yeah.
Got no money from it, but your friend did get a bunch of magic tricks.
He gave us some money. He was like, he was like, I made some money off this, so here you go. And he paid us, I forget what it was, probably like $100 piece, 150, something like that. So, yeah.
Wow, I mean, compared to how you started the story with the word statute of limitations, it turned out to be pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty solid way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have much time,
to finish, but Ray, do you think you can talk about the school bus in like 10 minutes?
Oh yeah, I can knock it out pretty.
Okay,
Here,
because
just
I'm
be clear,
wildly
I could have
intrigued.
finished that so much faster if you guys weren't obsessed with the
we
skateboards
really
and the
needed to make fun
sunglasses.
of you.
Yeah,
Really
you
needed to make
derailed
fun
it,
of you.
like just to lay into you.
Yeah.
Like I understood that.
Okay, next time we do this, Ray gets the long one. I'll do a short one.
Or we just get here on time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so
Ray, yeah, you started this by saying you tipped a school bus onto two wheels.
yeah,
Front, back, or side?
side. Yeah.
You just dipped it back and goes,
I mean, we probably could have dipped it back if we tried hard enough, but so
Who is we?
we were the my school bus, like all the kids on my school bus.
All of
For somehow every bad kid in Hunters Creek Middle lived within this 5-mile radius.
yeah, it's
that we
called
picked up.
socioeconomic status.
Yeah. So we
Socioeconomic proximity
Yeah.
actually is.
so we
better.
were legitimately like the worst bus to have. Like we would go through bus drivers all the time because no one wanted to take us because
Right.
we were out of our minds. We like threw stuff
Attacking
out of
the bus driver.
window. Well, we'd scream at bus.
Sometimes Ray would
drivers.
get right up into the
Yeah.
bus driver's ear and go, "Have you ever heard about John Wayne Gacy?"
The bus driver is just like, I'm never taking this place again. But so we finally had one good bus driver who could handle us. I
Mhm.
forget his name, but he was this cool, like old white guy who was like a little heavier set. But his whole thing
That
is
was
way
the important detail. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much for putting that one
Yeah,
in.
he
there.
woke
absolutely.
up. He woke up and was like, "I gotta earn these kids' respect."
He was so chill, bro.
This is a John Hughes movie.
So the way he did it, the way he kept us under control was, hey, if you guys behave, I'll play whatever music you want.
Yeah.
And so we would all be like, all right, sweet.
We got to
so
find
that
the
we could, like-
filthiest, dirtiest music that we can find.
So we were like blasting 50 Cent on the way to school and stuff like that. But it calmed us down and it low key kept us
Absolutely insane
good.
that 50 Cent calmed you down. But sure, go
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
That's just a little detail of the story. It's unimportant,
Yeah,
but
'cause
I
we-
needed to say something about.
We just knew that if we acted up, we didn't get to hear the music. So like that's
Right.
That was the way
Yeah,
that we
you
calmed.
got to hear Fitty. Be chill, Fitty.
Yeah,
That's
so-
how it works. That was your slogan. I remember you telling me this about all the time.
Yeah,
Be chill, get Fitty.
be chill, get fitty, dog. This is the whitest conversation.
Yeah, people forget 50 Cent was fucking pretty boring most of the time.
Oh yeah, he was.
Candy Shop is a fucking dog shit song. Sorry.
We
This
had
is
to listen
not
to
the
his
podcast for those
mixtapes,
opinions.
you had to listen to his mixes.
Yeah, you gotta
just
find
saying,
him
if
on
you're
the
trying to
street
get
corner
hype-
and buy his mixtape.
His first
Oh, yeah.
mixtape, his first album were really
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
and then it started to fall off after the massacre. That's when stars started dipping.
Sorry.
I got a lot of opinions on 50 Cent. Dog.
I know
This is
you do.
where
All
we're
right,
at.
okay, all right. All
Um,
right, back to the school bus.
so back to the school bus. So we got used to the school bus driver. He was cool. We finally had a school bus driver that was okay with driving us. And then one day he didn't show up, and
How dare.
the school bus
And he didn't leave a note for the sub?
Nope. Didn't leave a note for the sub. Sub had no idea. And so the sub was like, I've heard about you guys, and I'm not going to put up with you guys, so you need to chill out.
Insane that a bus driver
that-
can say that sentence
that
and
he
mean it. I've
opened
heard
up-
about you guys.
Opened up with that.
Yeah.
And was like, it was like, oh, your regular driver's not here, so just no shenanigans. And we were like, all right, we'll turn the music on. And he was like, I'm not turning the music on. And we were like,
Oh, big
we're going to
mistake,
tip this
buddy.
fucking bus.
Everybody collectively was same idea. Boop, it's a hive mind.
It was
Yeah.
like you guys took all the energy and just went all of the things that could have happened. You went, we're just gonna make it one thing.
Yeah, we're gonna
Everybody's like,
all do
oh,
this.
okay, we'll tip the bus
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so she like refused to turn on the music. We're like screaming, turn on the music. And then eventually
Yeah.
somebody goes, tip the bus. And then we all
Absolutely.
start chanting, tip
Yes.
the bus, tip the bus.
I
And
was
so, like,
there. I was there for that.
While
It's-
you're
yeah.
in the bus.
while we're in
Yeah.
the bus.
This is truly stupid.
So
I
she-
love it.
So the bus driver hits a corner and then we go all to the right and we all throw ourselves to the right side of the bus
Oh
and
my
feel the bus
God.
literally tip up on two wheels and then slam back down when she got around the corner or he got around the corner and the bus
They.
driver freaked the fuck out. Like immediately pulled the bus over and was just like, "Don't do that! You're gonna fucking kill us!" Like,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
response by the bus driver who thought they were
Yeah.
about to die.
Poor bus driver.
What did you?
But honestly, should have just turned the music on.
Did they turn the music on?
No,
Tip the
but
bus.
we were already like
Did they call
right
the
around the
police?
we've had the police called on us. This bus had to
They'll tip the police
show
car.
up. We once threw something out of the window, and then we had to figure out who threw it. And the cop was like, they pulled us all in the cafeteria, our entire bus. We missed our whole first period for it.
Nice.
They were like,
I'd be throwing stuff out the
Yeah.
window I
and
wouldn't
they
because I care about
interrogated
the
all of us
environment.
individually, and we were like, we ain't snitching.
Turn on Fitty.
Should have turned the music.
It's just the funny thing here is just like people have to ask you like after like why did you do that, and you're like didn't turn the music on,
They turned the music on.
and that's it. That's
Oh, I
the
was
whole
so
thing.
about it, dude.
What grade was this?
This is probably
Was this
like
middle school
between
or high school?
7th or 8th.
Yeah, so this is middle school.
This is middle school. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had no concept of the morality of man. You
Oh,
just
absolutely not.
if Fitty's
You were like-
off,
yeah. You
if
turned
this
off
bus is rocking,
yeah,
Fitty's not knocking.
What?
I tried.
yeah. I saw where you're going with it.
Can you imagine a bunch of dumb 13-year-old, 12-year-olds or whatever just throwing themselves?
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
That's
I
so.
was fully involved too. Like I committed.
Yeah.
I probably weighed like 100 pounds, but I didn't give a shit. I was
Right.
just like mob mentality.
Right, I'm gonna tell you right now. I had a lot of questions. None of them were you involved?
Oh yeah, no.
I knew you were involved.
Yeah, I was absolutely involved.
If you had said you're the one who just yelled "tip the bus,"
I
I'd be like,
probably did.
okay.
I like to imagine there was a kid who didn't want to do it, and Ray just grabbed him by the shirt and goes, "Tip of the
He's
bus."
just sitting on the back like, ha, I'm
Yeah.
in trouble.
Yeah. And what's funny is we had a couple kids in like in the middle of the bus, all the kids who only spoke Spanish, and they were like the ESL kids, like who like we didn't conversate all that much.
Tip the autobus.
They were immediately about it. Like
Yeah.
there was no language barrier there.
No.
anymore. We
They
were
understood
all about
violence
it.
is a universal language.
It is.
They were like, "Put on Daddy Yankee."
All right. Well, we have to wrap up. So thank you guys for sharing your stories. Before we say goodbye officially, if you guys one at a time want to look into your specific camera, this segment I call "You're My Boy, Blue," and you get to give a shout out to your favorite educator. So Zach, we'll start with you. You have this one.
You're my boy, Mr. Marsico. Thank you. Thank you for getting me into college. I didn't do anything with it besides start a stand-up comedy career, but that's going pretty good. So thank you.
I like how that started forced and then got genuinely sincere at the end.
Yeah, she was great. She paid, or she helped trick a school into paying for me to learn stuff. So that was cool.
That is pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
love you.
I think my AP art teacher, Miss Adney, for just being super chill. You know, I think art teachers in general are always the best teachers.
I hate the way you said all of that.
Yeah. Why?
Oh,
Why? She was just chill. She told my mom, she was like, he's talented. He's going to be an artist.
okay,
She was
that's a
right.
better way to
She
say
was
that.
right.
Is there any?
Listen, I'll tell you guys off podcast.
Mm.
Okay.
'Cause we've said enough.
We have said enough.
So everyone say bye. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you sticking around if you did, and if you didn't, I hope you come back and listen to it. This was a lot of fun for me. This is a project that I've wanted to work on for a long time, and I'm happy to see episode 1 is in the books and out there. So I hope you like it. We have merch. I made merch. If you want some PodClass President merch, that is available now. Check out my website, benbrainer.com. For that. You can also check us out on Patreon if you want episodes of the podcast a day early, plus all my other content a day early and other things. Check out patreon.com/Ben_Brainerd. That really just goes a long way to helping me be able to do the things that I do more. So we appreciate you for that. Otherwise, thanks so much for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, whatever. I don't know. And we'll see you next week. Bye.